This is going to be the first time you've seen Mike Finnegan on my YouTube channel. Let's talk. Here's what's happening. Finnegan and I have gotten together for the first time on YouTube since Roadkill got taken off. And you said that was 2016?
2016, Roadkill got yanked off YouTube. I started my channel. We have not been together here since.
On YouTube, right. And what we're doing is cruising in the Rodson right now, the 240Z that you know from Roadkill. And we're shooting a road trip episode driving from California to Alabama. And it's going to appear in two parts. Part one on Finnegan's Garage on his channel, and part two on my channel. So look for that coming up. But in the meantime, I thought I should take the opportunity, since we're together, to go ahead and do a Q&A. And I have posted on Facebook, and I got 760 questions. Woo! Only 700 of which are from bots.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, we have 220 miles to go, so plenty of time.
Right now we are headed, well, I'll let you figure it out when we actually see the episode coming up later. Let's get right into it. Questions for both of us. And by the way, it's no secret on social media. We've been posting about this. Everybody knows that we're together. And so...
We're not together. I love my wife.
How many questions about Roadkill do you want to deal with?
I'm down for whatever. I'm easy.
People always want to know what happened, why the show's over, all of that. I feel like I've addressed it quite a bit. I'm not going to again, with the exception of this. How many more Roadkills are unreleased on Motor Trend? I don't know. I've lost track. When we left, they told me that there was one more season that already was streaming on Discovery Plus and Max, but that had not yet aired on Motor Trend cable TV. I don't know if it's aired yet or not.
I don't have time to watch anything, so I don't know.
I don't know. So I shouldn't have answered that question. I have no clue. Would you guys consider doing another throw a dart at a map and do a road trip? That's what we did for the very first episode of Roadkill. Threw a dart at a map, went there, bought a car, road tripped it home.
I'm down to do it only if we strictly adhere to wherever the dart lands.
Like middle of the ocean, like when we threw the actual Dodge dart out of the helicopter?
Yeah, like submarine, fine. I'm in, let's do it.
Just go?
Yeah.
There's a cop, be cool.
I don't know if I'm speeding, but I'm next to a big rig, and I'm not passing him, so I feel like we're safe.
We're good.
Unless they don't like hater pipes, we're okay.
Yeah, they know us. Man, on this trip, more people have recognized us than I've seen in a long, long time. I don't know why.
It's the hater pipe.
Here's a good one. What was your favorite car of all the weird ones that didn't become super famous? So stuff like Rodson and Super Camaro, those all became pretty well known. What's something that we did that nobody really reacted to?
I really like the limo truck, the big red stretch limo truck, because I love trucks.
Yeah.
And also, there was something I wanted to do with that truck that we never did on Roadkill, and I have hopes to actually make that happen.
You know what never really landed hard is the Crusher Camaro.
That's an interesting one because I really like that car. I like the way it's built. I like what's happened to it over the years. I like all the different phases. I like that it never stays the same.
But ever since I took the blower motor out of it, no one cares.
I mean, it was badass.
It was.
I'm happy I got to drive it a lot with the blower motor. And that was probably the first thing I ever drove with a roots blower.
Yeah.
So I have a soft spot for that look.
And it's rad. But the thing is, if I go back to the blown big block, I'm just going backwards. I'm not inventing anything. Like, I'm not keeping my mind stimulated on the car.
I understand. There's just certain things that, like, you just leave them alone. Every now and again, just take them for a ride if you can, and, you know, they don't all have to change.
Here's another one I feel that we have to address because I get the question all of the time. Do we own the Roadkill name or can we buy it back? No, we never owned the Roadkill name, and I'm not interested in trying to buy it from the company. And Motor Trend, the publishing company, is still using it for stuff.
Yeah, like, they're allegedly still going to have Roadkill nights this summer.
Right. People ask about the rots, and they can wait and see that on the actual episode. What is left on your road trip bucket list? What would you most like to do?
Oh, like places?
Yeah.
Oh God, I haven't seen probably 5 or 6 of the states in America, and I'll admit that like I don't remember a lot of what I've seen because we were filming, and so there's definitely places I want to go. I want to go someplace where I can see the Northern Lights.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I've never done that. I'd still like to go up to Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine. I want to go visit that girl who bought that old 1930s bowling alley.
Oh, yeah.
Is single-handedly running it herself. Like, I feel like that would be sick to go there and support her and go bowling and have the old skinny pins. I want to go to Drag Week again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to go win. What about you? What would you
Well,
do?
I've been to all 50 states, but as you mentioned, whenever we were traveling for the show, we never really saw anything. So I could go almost anywhere again,
Yeah.
and it would be cool.
Yeah, like this trip, when we drove through New Mexico, especially Roswell, I saw so much stuff I never noticed before.
Yep.
So, like you said, I could totally do it all again and see new things.
Rick Payway and I want to drive a World War II Jeep from Normandy, France to Berlin.
That's wild.
Yeah. So we're still
back to the
talking about
homeland?
that. Ha! This is funny. It's hard to see out-of-work actors trying to make ends meet. Actors.
It's the best day of unemployment ever, right here.
Yeah.
I'd be a pretty crappy actor, I think.
Why not do a roadkill type show on YouTube again? Yeah. Happening. Okay, I said I wasn't going to answer roadkill questions. I keep doing it because so many people ask me about roadkill nights and they think it's dead because the show's over. Motor Trend, the publishing company, still owns it, and they have told me they fully intend to execute it. So, as far as I know, that is still happening. You know, I'm not involved in the management of it or the operations or any of that, but I am trying to spread the word to keep the thing going. Do you want to do top 5 favorite cars we built on Roadkill?
Oh, okay.
I feel we've done this before. When we did the episode during COVID, when it was on Zoom, and we did our top 10.
Oh, I forgot about it.
Yeah, so if we say it again now, we might end up saying something different, but I think that's okay. It's like your memories change, your tastes change,
Yeah.
or
My
experience
list will be different.
new cars. So, go.
All right, number 5, the Hemi Belvedere that you and Dulcich and I did.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
I really like the car, but I really enjoyed the experience of working with you guys. That was cool.
That was a performance auto in Wyoming.
A lot of flies.
That was a car that really didn't get a lot of play. I think maybe because it was near the end. I still have that, by the way.
The Jaguar. It's not an outstanding build, but the visual of it is outstanding, and it does the best burnouts ever. And I feel like it's a recipe anybody can do. And again, for the memory, I'll never forget going through a car wash to cool off the engine.
Yep, that was good. That was a long time ago.
The Rodson for sure. I don't remember all of it, but I know it was fun learning. Like, this is the first car I ever turboed in my life when it was a V6. And so, and it, you know, it's just a fun car, and this trip proves to me how much fun this car is.
Yep, it's been great.
So that's 3.
That's 3.
Blasphemy for
Of course.
sure.
Yep.
Mayhem would probably be the number 1 because it drives so damn good. It's so fun in the dirt. I'll never forget how much fun it was to road trip that motorhome back to Rob's house.
Oh, yeah.
To strip it, like sliding into Dana's parking lot and, you know, the doors flying open, cutting the door off of it with an axe on the side of the highway. Like, I'll never forget any of that stuff.
Yeah, that was definitely great.
Mayhem's probably number 1 for me.
Well, that's cool. Thank you. I have just completely refurbished that thing back to the way it was, but with a little more power.
My Charger gets worse, yours gets better.
So General Mayhem's absolutely top 5 for me. When we did that work from home thing, I named Blasphemy as number 1 because I think it was, despite all its failures, the most successful thing that we did and made a big impact. A whole lot of people know about it, love it, and you've gone on to do so much with it outside of the TV show.
It's been fun.
Whereas most of my cars are on TV or video, and I don't touch them again until they're on another show or video.
And right now, it's currently running, driving, and running 860s in the drag strip and hasn't broke in a long time. And by a long time, I mean at least 6 months. It hasn't broken in 6 months.
So General Mayhem Blasphemy, now I have to separate in my mind like my own cars that I like versus the stuff that was great on Roadkill. Because I really love the Crusher Camaro, but it wasn't as great on Roadkill as some other stuff. While it's utter garbage, you, Bob, and said it, Stubby Bob's the greatest thing that we ever created.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, it really is.
I totally forgot about Stubby Bob. Stubby Bob's awesome.
It's so absurd. It looks so cool. It does those wheelies. It's complete trash. I too own Stubby Bob now. Look at my channel. You'll see a whole video that explains what it's like today.
I'm excited to see what you do with it. I hope it ends up with split rims on the front again.
Yeah.
And maybe a butthurt bar on the back to give it some weight so it'll do wheelies with a heavy front end.
Yeah.
Like the stock axle up front would be great.
With suspension travel and
Yeah.
more power.
Yep. No leaf
Yeah.
springs.
Right. The rear end's blown up. It needs like a Dana 80 or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You'll make it better.
So that's 3. 2 more. Vet cart.
Oh, forgot about the vet card.
Vet cart started before Roadkill. It was the first video that Mike and I did together. And it's always been great, like in every phase.
Even after sitting for years, I got in at Derek Berry's house and drove it home. 0 issues.
Yep, it's good. And for best overall driver with the most reliability and fun and violence, it's not that fast, but it does everything well enough. Muscle truck.
Not a day goes by that someone doesn't ask me what exhaust parts are on that
I
thing.
hear it all the time. It's Dynamax race bullets, by the way. I think the key is it goes from 2.5 to 3 to 4 and back down to 3. No crossover pipe.
It's like a flute.
Yeah. Do you have any secret builds that you did off camera or in your youth that no one really knows about because you're embarrassed or it was just never finished?
No. I mean, in my youth, that was pre-social media, so nobody saw anything unless you were on the mini truck mailing list on email.
Were all your mini trucks, did they end up in magazines?
No.
No?
No, the first one was a 94 Toyota. I bought it brand new after my 240Z got stolen. And that thing, the build started in California. It kind of semi got finished in New York when I moved there for school. But in the middle of a snowstorm, I slid into a snowbank and got stuck like, I don't know how many times I got stuck trying to get to work or school. And I just lost my mind. I walked into a Nissan dealership across the street and bought a Nissan 4x4. And at that point, that truck was Caltrans orange. I had shaved the door handles, shaved the tailgate handle. It was on airbags. It was on Ford Pro GT wheels. That was never in a magazine until I sold it. And a guy named Carmel out of New York.
Marble?
Carmel?
Oh.
Carmel Tassone out of New York bought it, painted it VW Cyber Green, I think. And I think then it ended up in mini trucking, but it wasn't mine. He really took it way further than I ever did.
So your very first 94 Toyota?
Yeah.
I remember your dad telling me, he's like, that's when I knew that he was never going to be any good.
Yeah. Dude, he was pissed. He came down. So I had ruined that truck in his opinion.
Right.
Bought the Nissan, was upside down in that thing, so I was still owed money on the Toyota. Then when winter was over and it was sunny again, I didn't want the Nissan because all my friends were cruising. So I went into a Toyota dealership and bought a Tacoma.
Wow.
So then I was upside down twice. And at the time, I didn't even know what that meant. I just knew I could afford the payment. And my dad was out of the country. He came home, and that Tacoma, I had pushed his boat out in the driveway, parked his Corvette out in the driveway, and stripped that truck, and it took up all 3 bays. The cab was off, the bed was off, because I was airbagging it, 4-linking it, and body dropping it in his garage without telling him. And he came home and lost it. He was so pissed because he co-signed the loan for that truck.
Right.
He's like, you're never putting this back together because none of the parts were in Ziploc bags, nothing was labeled, and he was wrong.
That's the story he told me.
He was wrong.
Yep.
I had a lot of leftover bolts, but I did get that truck back together.
Well, that's all a much better story than mine. I had a 69 Dodge Dart convertible that I've never really talked about. It was probably my 4th car, and I did a lot to it and then unloaded it, starting a trend of buying a car, doing a few things to it, and then losing interest and getting rid of it. Story of my life.
You're kind of a convertible guy. You had Rick's 66 Special.
And I had a 67 Impala convertible. I'm
that's
okay
right.
with him.
Jesse Kaiser got that.
Yep, he still has it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
He took the body off the frame and discovered it was a rusty disaster, and I think it's still sitting. Oh, and here's another one. What car have you two built that in the end you wish you didn't? I think I know what yours is, but
It's a tie.
I have 2. Go ahead.
It's either He Hate Me, the Econoline,
Yes!
or the Econorado.
Well, that's the same thing.
Or not the Econorado, the Catarado. The Caddy Ramp?
Oh,
No, that
caddy
thing-
ramp. Okay, I was thinking ugly truckling.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, that thing
Yeah,
sucks.
that
dude.
was terrible.
It was backwards.
Yeah.
I'll never forget. I walked into the shop, and I'm like, it's backwards. Like the cage doesn't fit the shape of it. It's like a cab forward Chrysler from
I know.
the 90s.
You've always said that. To me, that was the only thing that made it cool.
That's why we get along.
I guess.
We don't agree on a lot.
Yeah, but the Econorado was garbage. That actually is when we took a flat face Econoline pickup, shortened it, and put a Cadillac 500 and a transaxle in the back.
I'll admit though, it was super fun to try to do endos, but other than that, it wanted to crash. Like it was the death trap.
It was terrible.
It was worse than the Jeep rod.
Yeah. So
We're not engineers.
the Econorado, which is the Eldorado,
He Hate Me?
what was the other Eldorado?
Oh, Caddy Ramp.
The Caddy Ramp, that became known as something else though.
I can't remember. It was brief. We drove it one day.
Oh,
One
it was
time.
the Eldorongo.
Oh, the Elorado. Yeah.
Eldorongo after we modified it. Yeah, we cut that big ramp off the back. I think it looked really cool.
It did.
It looked neat.
What happened to the Ronco? Remember that got sold?
Oh yeah,
Season
it
1?
got sold like immediately after the very first Cheap Truck Challenge episode.
People asked me about that, and they asked me about the Baja Bug that we got from Fred.
You know what people ask me about almost more than anything these days is the T37.
That's a sick car. You know how many people have asked me if they can buy it? I'm like, I would buy it. If David's got it. I mean,
I bought that one.
I love Pontiacs.
Breaking news.
I love Pontiacs as much, if not more, than Chevys. So I've never had a Chevelle. I've always wanted one. But I would take the T37 over a Chevelle.
Do you ever RainX the windshields of the Roadkill cars with no wipers? Yeah, we actually did the rods the other day.
This should coat it and make the water just run off of it. Why don't we have wipers on anything we own? I have no idea.
You don't need wipers when you have a turbo. You drive faster than the rain. We use RainX a lot because we never have wipers or headliners.
Yeah, my Bel Air never had wipers. It didn't have anything. It was empty when we got it. And I've done 6 or 7 drag and drives. RainX every time on every windshield, and the rain's really not slowed me down much.
Yep. What is each of y'all's favorite engine? For me, big block Chevy, hands down.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it? Okay.
I've had more success at everything with a big block Chevy than anything. And it's the only motor I'm good at building because I understand it and I'm used to it. And, you know, if you can ask me deck heights and bore spaces and cam specs, and that one I've done more than anything else. So.
And they're just the easiest thing to make bolt-on power, naturally aspirated.
I'm asking this because I want to say it.
Okay.
What's the engine you want to build you've never built?
Probably Boss 429 base big block Ford.
Ooh. So I want to do 460 based because there's some really good heads out there.
Well, 460
It's the same thing, right?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said Boss, and that threw me off.
Well, yeah, a big block 385 series Ford is a Boss 429, just with the heavy heads on it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need the Hemi heads. There's some other ones out there that I think you could make 1200 NA with one of those things,
People have done it.
which is awesome. I'd like to experience a Ford stock motor.
What episode did you not expect to turn out well, but actually surprised you?
Rat Rod versus Lambo.
I hated that episode. I mean, it's got whatever 50 million views or something, and it put us on the map. It gave us our career, so that's all good. But I don't like it as entertainment.
I just didn't like the Rat Rod. I'm not a Rat Rod guy, and while driving, and I'm like, I'm gonna get killed in this thing, and
Yeah.
I don't want to be in this thing. But some ad guy sold an ad to Sailor Jerry Rum, and we had to do it.
Oh, right.
And the whole time I'm like, nah, I'm not into this. But the Lambo was fun as hell to drive. I will never own one. I'm not a Ferrari guy or a Lamborghini guy or you know, any of that. But
It was
oh
cool
my-
to experience.
Oh, dude, shifting from 7th to 2nd on the highway and punching it. Woo, the noises.
Yep.
So good. I get why people own them.
So I guess to me that was a poor episode that turned out well, in the sense that it gave us our careers because YouTube pushed it to everybody.
Yeah, it was surprising how well that did.
Okay, I'll go with that. People ask me this all the time. How do I afford to insure all my cars? I've got like something between 46 and 50 cars right now. I only insure the ones I'm actually driving. So that's like 4 to 5 at tops. So it's not all of them. How about you?
So mine are all insured all at the same time because I'm afraid of them getting ripped off where they're sitting. And also where I live, you can't just non-op one. They gotta, if they're registered, they gotta be insured.
Right, me too.
And so they're all insured, and it's through Haggerty, and the rates are pretty reasonable, and it's definitely an expense. I don't recommend it. Have 2 cars. It's not that I don't recommend Haggerty. I mean, I don't recommend having 20 cars and insuring them. But I use them all frequently for the YouTube show, so.
On YouTube, are you artistically more free to create content that you are more passionate about, or was that never an issue? I've always said we had more freedom to do whatever we wanted to do on Roadkill than anybody had on any reality TV show ever.
Yeah, that's
You know,
true.
we did what we felt like doing. I am doing some stuff on YouTube that just wasn't Roadkill, like my road trips and vehicles that are reliable, where I just see stuff and talk about history. So yeah, that's more freedom for me to do something kind of different. But it wasn't that I was forced to do anything I didn't want to do on Roadkill.
I 100% agree with you. Like, I think compared to other automotive TV shows, we had a lot of freedom compared to them, 100%. I have infinitely more freedom on my own YouTube show because if I want to do something, I just do it. I don't have to, you know, I don't have to get anybody.
Doesn't have to ask me.
I don't have to ask you, you know, I don't have to worry about whether it's something you're going to be into or not. And so, yeah, there's more freedom now, but
Well,
like,
plus you can work on Blasphemy for 13 episodes, which we would never do on Roadkill.
yeah,
So,
yeah, 100%.
so short version, yes. So we have more freedom.
But having said that, it was the best job ever. And I look back fondly at all of it.
Yeah, I mean, no one will ever have a TV show like that again.
Nah.
I don't think.
I hope they do. It was great.
Yeah.
I hope I hope everybody gets to, like the stuff we got to do. We would make an episode, come home, they'd make a rough cut of it and send it to us for us to critique.
Yeah,
that's not normal.
That is not. That does not happen in TV. They do not seek the talent approval for episodes. But in the early days, we sat with the editor and did it.
Yeah, and we made sure, like in the very beginning, especially David was adamant, we will fake nothing ever. Right. And so, like you said, we'd sit in the editor room and we'd basically, this is how we would like to see it edited, and they would do it. It was great. And then once that style got established, it just carried on for the rest of the series. And they were so good at it. Towards the end, I'd get the rough cut, I'd watch it, and I'd rarely ever give notes because it didn't need to be done. They knew what worked and what didn't, and know.
This one's just me. Would I consider a C stripe on my new Super Bee? So a 70 Super Bee could either have the bumblebee in the back like mine, or it could have a big C-shaped thing on the sides of the quarter panels.
How about both?
Oh, that would be really tacky. I like the bumblebee. I might put the C stripe on it just for variety because I have a bee with the bumblebee stripe. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that car. That video is going through the roof. I'm glad people dig the car, and I want to put a 446 back in it. I found out last night they only made a little more than 1,300 Super Bees like that one.
Oh, wow.
383 4-speed sedans.
Hopefully it's got the numbers matching air in the tires still.
Yeah, no, none of that. Why aren't you guys on Joe Rogan?
I don't know.
Never been invited.
If he called me, I'd go.
Yeah.
I love his show.
Oh, a guy here posted a picture of when he met us in Bowling Green in 2015. Oh, it's a picture of you with Jessis El Camino.
Wow, that's an old one. It was before we restored it.
Yeah.
Wait, can I see that again?
Yeah.
Zoom in. Dude, that's the original Roadkill merch that our company didn't make.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse Teague, husband and wife, they made those designs. The first 5 Roadkill shirts were made by them. And our company didn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, when we started Roadkill, you and I were doing it completely.
For free.
Clint, Jason Lewis.
Yep.
And then I started all the Roadkill social accounts. Like you said, they made the t-shirts.
Yep.
It was all us.
Not a lot of people know, but we did the first season, maybe season and a half or 2 for free. We worked at Hot Rod. That was our jobs.
Well, I technically did for almost the whole time, if you look at it that way, because I was the editor of Hot Rod, not the whole time. I think I stopped in 2013, so like the first 4 years, it was just part of my existing salary.
Yep.
What was the car you were most excited to buy from Motor Trend, and which one were you most disappointed to not be able to buy from Motor Trend?
This one, the Rotson.
You're most excited about that.
I wanted this one.
How about disappointed that you didn't get?
I don't know. None of them really. Like in hindsight, I didn't even think about it, but I would have wanted the T37. But I knew you liked it, so I didn't even bother asking.
Well, and the one I'm most disappointed in not getting is the vet card. But
I didn't know that.
What happened is Finnegan and I actually talked because we both had opportunities to buy all this stuff. I don't know if you even remember this. And it was like, well, if you're going to get this, get that. Finnegan wanted Stubby Bob, but didn't really want to ship it. And so you said, I'll buy it if you're not going to take it, just to save it.
Yeah.
But you said, if I, Freiburger, want the thing, then go ahead.
I felt that way about all those cars. Like, there's very few I wanted or needed. Like this one I wanted. The rest of them, it was like, well, if you didn't get them, then I don't want them to disappear. I'll buy them.
Right.
But like the vet card and this, at the top of the list for me.
Right.
100%. I love both these cars.
Which one was I most excited to buy? Probably Stubby Bob because it's such a freak show. But other than that, the T37.
Yeah, that thing's sick.
I like the car. I don't know why, but it's just, for some reason that car really landed for a lot of people.
Well, it's a good-looking car, and it represents the buried, undiscovered treasure that used to be in junkyards. You know, like we went into a junkyard and got that out.
Yeah.
And that's rare to find an old muscle car that isn't destroyed in a junkyard.
And Dulcich and I put a new motor in it that was real bare bones, like Dinkleball rebuilds.
Yep.
Edelbrock heads, little cam. It made 440 horsepower. You know, not a killer, but just
fun.
a regular street motor.
You had a pretty good record of getting good stuff out of junkyards, dude, because you got the Disgust thing too, which that car was sick.
Yep.
There's our video crew.
Shooting us driving by. This thing makes great blow-off valve noise.
It really does. Shout out to Tile for the wastegates and the blow-off valves.
They're really good.
They've been on there forever. That's the original blow-off valve and the original Spectre air elbow we put on there when it had the V6.
Yep. It's the same carburetor.
Yeah.
Why have you guys never done a 4th gen F body? For me, it is the smog laws in California. I like the one that Newbert did for the top speed racing.
Yeah.
He got that car, which he should have, I think.
He's about to go top speed racing again. He's trying to go 200, I think, next weekend.
Yeah. I hope he does it. How about you, 4th gens or no?
I like them. It's never been ooh, I want one, you know?
Why do I hate vinyl tops on cars? Well, because they rust. They rust the sheet metal. And also because on many body styles, they just look wrong. You're probably reacting to me saying that I hate a vinyl top on a Plymouth Duster, and that's because it does nothing to accent the body line. It actually breaks the body line in a terrible place. Now, a good car with a vinyl top is a 68, 69 Charger. They actually look good.
Or a Cadillac.
Or Cadillac.
Yeah, like Death Metal has a vinyl top. It's pretty trashed. I'll put another one on.
Really?
I'll fix nothing else in the body of that car, but I'd put a brand new vinyl top on it. It would look sick.
That's funny. People ask me this all the time. Have you ever thought about moving out of California? Yes. Inertia is keeping me there, but eventually I will be gone.
Where are you going to go?
Probably Arizona.
Arizona's nice.
Oh, here's a good one.
Yeah.
So Finnegan is doing a thing on the Finnegans Garage Show right now, which is the Great Car Trade Experiment, where he started out with a horrible 1960 El Camino and traded that for
an 86 Cadillac Broham,
which then went to the Ford or the Chevy truck.
Yeah, it went to a 53 Chevy long bed,
which then became
1940 Chevy coupe that you and Derek Bieri built
on Roadworthy Rescues. Here's one. Would you ever do a Corvair? I would. 2nd gen Corvair. I like better.
Yeah, I would. Absolutely.
Yeah. Would you have to V8 swap it?
No, I'd like to see if we can somehow make horsepower and go fast. Because they make turbo kits for those stock motors, don't they? Like Volkswagen style stuff?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd be into it.
What is our favorite road trip together? Probably Alaska.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we drove the Ranchero, when we actually made it as a 2-part episode with Dustin and Travis,
yep,
all the way to Alaska, that was really epic.
Remember when we couldn't get gasoline-soaked cardboard to light on fire because it was so cold?
It was that cold. Question for me, do you think that you'll ever do something similar to Engine Masters? I would like to. It's got some financial hurdles. That was us accelerating past the crew for a shot with the rear end clunking and falling out of the car. If I did it, I think I would have to go to Bostic's and rent a couple days and maybe 3 or 4 days, assemble some stuff with him, bring a few engines, and just crank out a bunch of episodes. It's the only way it would be practical to do.
Would you bring in Brule and Dulcich? Put the band back together?
That just increases the expense, which is my big concern about it. Yes, I would love to have those guys, but...
Is it the hair care products that put the budget over the top?
Yeah.
You know, because Brule's got his ponytail again.
He does.
And Dulcich's hair is majestic. It can't be easy to maintain.
He's got a haircut.
Dulcich?
Full on respectable.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
He probably still looks majestic.
So yeah, I'd like to do it. I probably will do something like that, but I'm gonna have to land a pretty big sponsor for it because it's expensive. Oh, this guy saw that I was interested in a 70s Celica. I'm looking at a 78 Celica GT liftback. It's the one that looks like a little fastback Mustang. It's actually really cool.
Oh, yeah.
So you endorse it?
Fully.
I talked to Faye Hadley. She endorsed it. She's a huge Toyota person.
I don't know what you're waiting for. Just make it happen.
It's $8,000 for a really, really slow car that's kind of a gag for me.
Oh, it's not for me. So when you get to Georgia, just drop it off.
Just flip it.
Yep. Trade me something.
I would like to do it. It's in New Hampshire. It'd be a great road trip. This is a lame question. Who gets recognized first or the most when we're hanging out together? Totally even. Only very rarely has somebody walked up to me and said, "Oh, Freiburger," and handed you a camera and said, "Can you take a picture of me and this guy?"
Yes.
That's happened like twice, and it was hilarious.
It was amazing.
Yeah, but other than that, I mean, it's the same. I think one of the great things about Roadkill is that it was never like a lead and a sidekick. We were always like the same level of character. You know, it's not like one of us was the star, the other one was secondary. It was just, we both did everything. And so that's why I think people just see us equally. People are obsessed asking about my sandals. I get the question about my sandals every day. Why do you wear sandals?
I have a friend who refers to you as flip-flops.
Yeah.
You don't have a name.
It's just, it is what it is. I don't know. Got started a long time ago. I mean, I was barefoot a lot as a kid. I started when I was at the Four Wheel magazine wearing those Tevas that actually Velcro onto your foot because you could go off-roading with that. But then when I wasn't at the off-road magazine, I switched to the flip-flops. They're just way more comfortable to me. Shoes don't fit me right.
I wear flip-flops constantly. I just don't wear them on roadkill shoes.
Right.
Like if I gotta crawl under a car and scoop my feet, I just wear shoes. If I'm driving cross country, I'm in flip-flops every time. It's comfy.
Loans wears them too. I bet no one realizes. You know what was an influence on me? Is Gray Baskerville. He always wore them to the office and everything, and that sort of gave me permission to do it.
Right. He's the OG.
Oh, here's an interesting question. This guy's saying he wants to start doing something like Roadkill. You know, how do you get started? How do you contact a network? At this point, I don't think you do. I don't think networks are making new automotive shows right now.
No.
And if you pitched them a show, if we walked into a network and said, "Hey, we just want to do whatever we want with cars every episode," that's the premise, that's it. You would never sell it. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, like, if you told me you wanted to start an automotive-based YouTube channel, I'd tell you not to do it because it's really expensive and hard to earn a living at. You're way better off streaming yourself playing video games because the overhead is so low. Car stuff, you have to own the tools, you have to own the car. Very few companies will send you parts for free. You know, for example, like when I blow up the Hemi and Blasphemy, it's between 8 and 20 grand every time. And you're not going to make that back on a YouTube episode unless you're Cletus, who's going to get 1 million views.
Yeah.
And if you start from scratch, trying to get to Cletus's level is incredibly difficult.
It's incredibly hard.
So
everybody wants into it, but the market is totally saturated.
yeah.
And I bet you for every 10,000 people who try it, one person lands and has a shtick. Like one of the new guys who's all of a sudden huge is Sean, the What No Way guy. Have you ever seen him?
Yeah.
Everything is,
met him.
what? No way. Yeah, I met him too. Cool guy. And he's blowing up and he's got that shtick. But if you said to yourself, that's my shtick, I'm going to do it, you could also be completely obscure for a decade. You never know what the algorithm is going to do to make you land. So
if you're going to do it, you have to do it because it's going to be fun.
Right.
But don't count on earning a living. It might not happen.
I feel very, very fortunate that the notoriety gained by Motor Trend having me on Roadkill has allowed me to continue on YouTube. That's a super fortunate situation that we couldn't have planned. Roadkill was an accident. It wasn't a career goal at all.
No, we're very lucky.
Now, on this same note, a lot of people have asked me, are you shopping for a new network? The answer to that's no. I'm not interested in doing TV the way that TV does TV. Meaning, I don't want to deal with a producer telling me a storyline or, having to do act breaks and tension and arguments and just the whole lose the shop wrench throwing thing. I don't need to be on television enough to sign up for that type of show.
Yeah, I'm with you. I got no interest in it. Oddly enough, like when the news broke that it was over, that same week, like 4 different people were like, we want you over here, we want you over here. And I was so disillusioned by how Roadkill ended. I'm like, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to have the rug pulled out from under me again.
And it would be way worse somewhere else.
Yeah, so the odds of me ever saying yes and going back to a traditional television show, they're real slim.
Now, that said, I am doing NHRA on Fox as a pit reporter and doing tech bits from the pits. So that is on Fox Sports 1, and sometimes it's on regular Fox. It's not really the same thing. And it's not me dying to be on television. It's me really enjoying learning and doing that job and have something new that is outside of myself. So that I'm not just sitting making my own YouTube thing, but also, I don't know, able to travel on someone else's time, able to learn new stuff, and able to do something that's just not my own thing. So that's that. Do you ever get tired of just doing your own thing? And
the years, I don't even know if it was the years, but the moments where I was alone in my garage for extended periods of time, oh yeah, I burned out, absolutely. Having Newbern there was massive. Having Joe Cole there is massive. It's probably similar to what you guys at home go through, where you have this giant project in front of you and zero help, and it gets intimidating. You burn out, the hours get to you, the lack of progress gets to you. So having somebody just to laugh with, even if they're not wrenching, is massive for your mental.
Yep. And I've been doing my YouTube pretty much alone. I mean, I did a crossover with Dulcich, Chappelle, now you. I have one planned with Derek. Tony and I keep talking, but haven't put anything together yet. But most of all, it's just me. So I get it.
You need a guy. Or a girl. A yin to your yang.
Here's a light one. What's your favorite beer? So I'm famous for Corona, which is a leftover from Rick Bayway. Corona, to me, has gotten so skunky, I've turned off to it. So I'm going to the macro brews. I like a good champagne of beers or a good Coors Banquet. I really like Yingling. I am not an IPA guy at all. And I don't just guzzle Coors Light like a lot of guys do.
For me, it's situational.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, I'll have a Guinness if I'm sitting down and hanging out, but I won't have one while I'm wrenching on a car.
Yeah, I'll put it in 3 categories. I like Yingling Light when it's hot out and I'm going for quantity. If I'm at dinner sitting somewhere and I'm only going to have 1 or 2, I'll have a Guinness because I love it. The middle of the road beer for me is Spotted Cow. My neighbor Chris Behrman's amazing human, drives to Wisconsin often and brings back cases of it for himself and his neighbors. And so that's the good all-around beer for me is Spotted Cow. I like Fat Tire too. There's a lot. It would be hard to really narrow it down.
Here's a great one. Will there be a rematch between General Mayhem and Death Metal? I threw that out there in my episode about General Mayhem. I would love to do that.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah, we should do it.
It will motivate me to work on it. Currently, the power steering pump pulley is about to fall off. The alternator's not charging, and I still have not done anything about the rear suspension on the car.
So General Mayhem could go right now, but in my General Mayhem video, I listed a lot of stuff that I can do to make it better. Nothing to really radically change the car, but just some upgrades and stuff that's bugging me. I think that would be a riot. We should like road trip and meet in the middle and do something.
Depending on what we're doing, I really ought to put a floor in the car and put the roll cage that I have for it in it, because it's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
High speed, it's a little sketchy.
So yes, that's something we'd like to do, but it's going to depend on his schedule, which is bad.
Yeah, it still has the water pipe roll bar and rocker bars.
It needs a lot.
It's bad.
And he's got bigger fish to fry.
I got a Cadillac to build.
Who's the bigger metalhead? That's definitely going to be me. I have less range on music than he does.
I like music a lot. I don't even care what it is. I like jazz. I like metal. I like punk rock. I like rap. I like hip hop. I like all of it, actually. I like country a lot. Not new country, old country.
Does Finnegan still have the little metal donkey? He does. It's hanging in the shop.
I do.
Yep.
I gave it to my brother. His wife said no, and relocated it from their basement entertainment room to my garage. I still remember where I bought it. It's right outside the Roadkill Cafe in Seligman.
Yep, I remember that too. I've driven by there other times.
I used company money to buy that. It was $40.
If you're like lost about what we're talking about on the little metal donkey, it was the first episode of Roadkill that we shot, which was the second one that aired, where we tried to drive the Ranchero to Alaska and ended up at the Grand Canyon. And he bought this little metal donkey that we ratchet strapped to the top, and he still has it.
Yeah, I remember that was right around the time we were really bummed out about the fact that we knew we couldn't get to Alaska.
Yeah.
Where are we going to go now? And I think it was in that cafe where we decided, let's just go to the Grand Canyon. And I bought it as a pick-me-up.
At what point did you and Finnegan realize, wow, we really have made an impact and have a great thing going here? I won't say impact, but the very first episode we realized that we were onto something. Because remember, all of the comments just went nuts. And all of the comments on all the other Motor Trend videos were all about Roadkill.
I know. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. People used to write R-O-A-D-K-I.
Now they can do Freiburger and Finnegan. It'll be about that long.
When it got, like, that was really cool, but when it got real for me was I was driving to meet you to do the cop car and taxi cab shootout.
Okay.
And I was at a Home Depot and somebody was like, Finnegan? And I was like, yeah. And that was the first time anybody had ever recognized me ever in my life. And that's when I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, we saw your YouTube show.
That's weird.
And at that point, I couldn't really watch the YouTube show because I was on a BlackBerry. I wasn't even on an iPhone back then.
Stay on 20 here.
That's when I thought, all right, maybe this is something.
These days, I have to say, it makes us feel like the job was worthwhile. How many people tell us that we got them into cars or got them back into cars or made their father and son bond, or, you know, all of that stuff. We hear it all the time, and it's hard to believe to me that just fooling around with cars on camera has done all that, but I think that really gives value to what we did for 13 years.
Absolutely. Can you call Chris and get a mileage check? Because I'll pull off if we're about to run out.
Yeah, I think we need to probably stop here and actually shoot the show that we're shooting. So I will wrap this up. Thanks everybody for watching for so long. Did your GoPro die again in the middle of that? I think it may have. Yeah, nope, it's still going.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna shut this thing down and actually shoot the show. Don't forget, see the Rotson Road Trip on Finnegan's Garage and on the David Freiburger channel. It's gonna be really good. Part 1, Part 2. Thanks for watching.
Later.